I'm Emma, and you're watching Our Baby Way, and this is the Uhtred is 3 weeks old, and so you're watching the 3 weeks old update about what it's like having 3 week old baby. So right now he's napping in my lap because he just finished nursing, and today he's having a day where he doesn't want to be away from me at all. So even if he's like dead asleep, if I pick him up and I put him in another thing, he wakes up and says no. So it's been a really long, tiring day. He also probably looks much bigger than he is proportionally because he's in the foreground of the camera. But it's really hot, but he wants to sleep on top of me, so we're just going to go with that for now. You can see his stomach going up and down. And that's one thing that I was surprised to learn is it's really easy to see if a baby is breathing because they still breathe with their diaphragm, and so they just move so much, and their clothes move so much when they breathe, that because I'm always checking, oh, is he breathing? And it's so very obvious because the stomach moves so much. So at 3 weeks, he's definitely been opening his eyes a whole lot more. He's been having more time that's like an alert, awake time, and he's really been thinking and processing stuff and looking around. Sometimes Jason will walk him around the house and show him all the paintings, and he'll look at it for a minute, and then he'll turn his head, and he'll want to move on to the next painting, and he'll look at the next painting, and then turn his head away when he's done. It's pretty funny. It's like he's in a little art gallery doing a little art tour. He also really has been enjoying outside. He hasn't been outside a ton because it's been hot out and hasn't felt like going out. But he really enjoys seeing the trees and just different things. It's just different stuff to process. But a big deal thing that happened this week is he can roll over. Not the classic rollover that they say, happens at months old. And when they can start sleeping on their stomach, when they can roll over to their stomach, then they can start sleeping on their stomach because they can control their body enough. But he can roll from his stomach to his back. And that's it's an accident. He's not doing it intentionally. It's because his head is so big, compared to the rest of the weight of his body. So when he lays on his stomach and he he lifts his head and his chest up, like I mentioned that he can do, and he tries to crawl, he kicks his feet, and he's like, I'm frustrated that he can't move. And he sort of can move, if he's laying like this, he'll sort of end up rotating a little bit like this by doing a little bit of kicking and wiggling. But you can tell he's pissed that he can't crawl yet. That's what it is. He gets really mad. Oh, you waking up, mister? Oh, okay. He might wake up. He might go back to sleep. So he rolled over. He's rolled over a couple times. Wiggle chicken, hey. From his chest to his back. And it's just because his head is so high up. Oh, you're looking at the camera, giving them a shot of your pretty face. Nice work. Yeah, there you go. There you go, sleepyhead. This is the first time he slept pretty much today, since last night, and so hopefully he'll go back to sleep because he's only been doing it for 20 minutes. Anyway, so he rolled over, and it's just because his head's big, and it puts all this weight this way when he's looking around, and he's like, oh, let me look over here, and he goes, and then he just kind of rolls. But he rolls in a way that he gets his arm out from under him, which is interesting. And he's been able to roll both directions. It seems like he doesn't always lean one way or the other. So that's something that's a big deal that's happened this week. He's also continued to pee and poop well. He probably poops about 2 to 3 times a day. That seems to be kind of the norm. We've still really been enjoying cloth diapers, and the kind we've been doing are the pre-folds with a plasticky pants, or a waterproofy kind of shell with in this case it's a Velcro, thing, and it's great because it'll fit a lot of different sizes. So I've really been enjoying those, and I really like how they really seem to get the poop to stick to them compared to his butt, unlike disposables. Disposables, I noticed the poop totally stuck to his butt and not really so much to the diaper. So I really like the cloth for that reason, among other reasons. Let's see, I wrote a little note for myself over here because I've totally brain fried about what's been going on. Yeah, he's just been, I feel like the biggest thing is he's been really a lot more alert, and he is now, he's not just staring, he's really looking around, he's looking at ceiling fans, he's looking at windows. He really likes looking out the window at the changing table, certain things that are different color differences, like the ceiling fan blades and the ceiling, and you know, that's a classic thing that babies like ceiling fans, you know. But he's been really processing information. And we also had family visits, and he does really great in public because we went out in public a couple different times. And he does really great in public. He just like sleeps the whole time. And part of me thinks that's because it's like a lot of new information he's gathering from being out. There's sounds, there's smells, there's sights, there's movements, there's everything. And I think that maybe part of him is processing it by closing his eyes and kind of taking a nap because it's a little bit, you hear how noisy he is? Because it's a little bit overwhelming, like just a little bit, you know? Or a lot of it just depends. But he can self-regulate, so he's like, let me close my eyes and go to sleep. You getting upset? Are you getting a little bubbly? Oh, yawning. Okay. Yeah, he's a wiggly guy. He just started getting really wiggly, too. Uh-oh. You have some bubbles. They're bubbles? Okay. Okay, we're going to go up. What do you say? What do you say? Here we go. Here you go. Okay. There we go. Sometimes when he's laying on his back, he gets too many air bubbles and he starts making that cry, that like frustrated air bubble cry. Oh, and then also too lately he's been just wanting to, he's been doing that cry when he doesn't have air bubbles because he knows it works, because he just really wants to be upright and looking around because he's really been doing that a whole lot more. Yeah, great dude. So he still sleeps 2 to 3 hours overnight. And one thing that we thought was really cool, the other day I was trying to pick out clothes, and it was really hard for me to find clothes because it's hard to find things that work for nursing, and I was frustrated, and it was really hot in the house, and I started crying in the other room, and Jason had Uhtred in the kitchen, and Uhtred could hear me crying, and he started to get upset. So that's something that, I mean, I know we're connected, but that's something that I hadn't thought about before in that way. Bing, watch that head now. And so that's really, really cool. He still hasn't smiled intentionally, but he does smile, you know, like just when he's asleep or different things like that, and it's like heart melting and wonderful. So it's gonna be really cool when he starts to intentionally smile. Are you okay? These bubbles are so mean to you. Oh no. This is his favorite burping position, is being like up against your chest and kind of bouncing and getting patted. He doesn't like other burping positions, like so much over your shoulder, things like that. He really likes the being close to you positions more for burping. So yeah, so that's kind of the way 3 weeks is going. It's not really too different than 2 weeks. I feel like we've kind of got our pattern down, but it's just really fun because every day I feel like he gets bigger, and every day I feel like his hair gets longer, and his eyes get more like really discerning about what he's seeing. What you doing? And his neck gets even stronger. You can see him popping around. I don't even really hold it, except when he's about to throw his weight way off to one side. Then I have to kind of catch his head like now. Because he does a lot of wiggling, and he's pushing off with this leg. This leg is holding a lot of his weight right now. Oh no! But perhaps I'll go before he gets too upset from the bubbles. He might need to go outside and see some trees. But so that's how 3 weeks is going. We're tired, but I think we're just going to be tired for a long time. I love you. Okay. Say bye to the folks. All right, so I'll see you next week for his month-old update. And then after that, we'll just be doing month by month. It's okay. Get those mean bubbles to leave. Thanks so much for watching Our Baby Way. And Uhtred says goodbye. Bye.